Welcome to the last session of Business Insights. It's a fun-filled, insightful session. We have Walter Greenleaf here from Stanford. Walter has a lot of things that he's done and achieved. He heads he's a neuroscientist and is a medical technology developer at Stanford. And he's part of the Stanford Wearable Electronics Initiative and the Virtual Reality and Immersive Technology Clinic at Stanford. He's helping solve many issues with neuro conditions using technology, virtual reality, machine learning, and on and on. And to interview Walter, we have Tom Vogelsong. Tom has an exciting gig. He's a scout for a startup incubator, I guess? Investment group. So he gets to talk to a lot of folks, get exposed to a lot of technology. Tom himself is a technologist, and he's worked on smart sensors. He's worked on creating photon vision systems, for which he was the CEO, and he's a pioneer in CMOS technology. So I'm sure he's got a lot of questions for Walter. I'm sure we're going to learn a lot of things. So thank you. Please, Tom.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this next hour, and we're going to try and set aside a few minutes at the end for some questions from the audience, so you'll have a chance to learn what I missed in talking to Walter. But I've got to say, over the last few months, I've known Walter for a number of years because I've seen him give a number of interesting presentations, and I got to say, every one of those, I come away with new learning and new insight. And it's been fascinating to me then the last few months to really dig deep and find out how many areas of expertise Walter has and bringing them together. And one of my passions is the medical field and trying to improve healthcare and just wellness overall. But I think Walter has a very unique background. I don't know very many people that have worked in the university as professors for years that also have worked with industry, with startups, with investors, with large companies. I was going to talk about all the startups you've done, but I think that would take up the first half of the talk. I think I counted 20 that you've been CSO or advisor to. So we'll get into a couple examples.
I'm very shallow, spread all over.
You may be spread all over, but definitely not shallow. And I love the combination of the technical background, but the business sense and the people skills as well, to be able to interact and make such an impact on the world. So it's going to be fun.
Thank you.
But let's go back a few years to where we were getting into this field back in ancient history before. Let's talk about sensors. Back then it was film. Processing was you send it off to Kodak, wait a couple weeks and get it back, and then your display was holding a little piece of paper with a picture on it. And then I was very excited to get involved when CMOS and CCD imagers were first coming on. And oh my God, microprocessors, and you could take the data and do something with it. And then displays, well, CRTs, but starting to really close the loop. And look how far we've come. And so I'm going to start the interview with just exploring how you got into technology at the beginning, the three things of the sensing, the processing, and the display.
Well, sure. And first of all, it's been exciting for me to be here with this group. Very exciting area. And in many ways, it's also good to get back to some of the fundamentals that are empowering our next generation of how we're going to interact with the world. The sensing that is being pioneered and expanded here is going to be an important part of that. But in terms of how I got started, back in the analog days, I was scoring ink on paper from a polygraph. I was doing work in a psychophysiology lab at Stanford. I was very curious about how hormones impacted mood in people. And to score heart rate or respiration or other biosignals, we had a grass polygraph where ink would come out from little pens on paper, and we would get our ruler out and measure the amplitude of the breath and the inter-breath interval and heart rate, same story. We'd try and measure, and I thought that was pretty lame, and I wasn't focused enough to be able to do more than a minute's worth of measuring like that. So I thought it'd be easier to learn a little bit of assembly language processing, a little bit of soldering and hooking up A to D cards to my instruments, and write some software to score the data automatically. It took a lot longer than I thought, but it got me into the concept, and it eventually led to a spin-out company that I did during grad school that was focused on scoring sleep data using an Apple II computer. And I learned I loved publishing products more than I loved publishing academic papers. So ever since, I've tried to keep a foot in both doors, the academic world and the product development world.